season back at the barn. We're getting set for Osseo and Hastings. Andy Skugman back at our UPN9 studios has a preview of the AA championship game. Andy?
Jeff, Osseo was well known this season, getting the majority of publicity among Metro teams. Hastings, on the other hand, somewhat of an unknown for most of the year, but both made it to the title game tonight with big wins in Friday night's semifinal round.
Osseo will go to the line, and for Kelly.
A record crowd of nearly 8,000 saw two super semis last night at Williams Arena. Number 1 Osseo opened the evening against defending champ Rochester Mayo. The Miller twins, Coco and Kelly, came out firing, combining for 32 points. The pair of 5'10" guards couldn't contain 6'4" Oriole Erin Skelly. With a minute left, Skelly's putback basket clinched the victory, sending Osseo to the championship game.
We knew we could do it all along. We thought I had to play hard. We knew about the notice. We also knew they had a good girl, number 15. We just went as hard as we could. We all stepped it up to that, and we did it.
5-point lead by Shakopee.
The Sama sisters of Shakopee led the Sabres all season, while Hastings played the underdog role. No one expected them to win. In a close game all night, it came down to free throws. With under 30 seconds left, Erin Diddy hit 2 from the line, putting Hastings in the final game.
And it goes all to my dad. We go to the gym every Sunday, and he tries to build those situations for me. 20 seconds left, down by 1, hit the free throws, and, I just couldn't do it with them without him. And I'm just so happy that I made them. I don't know how I did. My hands were shaking the whole time up, but good thing I did.
Your fathers were good for something. Well, that is how both teams got to the final game. Let's go back down to Williams Arena. Jeff Grayson is standing by with a very special guest. Jeff?
Thanks, Andy. I am with Tom Diddy. Come on in here, Tom. We just saw your daughter, Erin, and one of the most genuine pieces of enthusiasm I've seen in a long time after a game, talking about you two practicing on Sundays. Tell us about it.
Well, usually on Sunday nights we go over to the gym. I have access through the athletic director to the gymnasium, and we spend a lot of time working on free throws and some perimeter shooting, and it's fun to see that pay off, because you keep preaching someday it will pay off, and now it has.
What was going through your mind when your daughter Erin went to the line like that?
Well, kind of the same things we work on Sunday nights on free throws. There's no way you can duplicate the pressure of a game, so what you try to focus on is the mechanics of the shot, and we set up different scenarios, but I'm really looking at is her mechanics, that they remain the same every time she shoots, and hopefully when the pressure comes, kind of muscle memory takes over, and she performs the task the same way. And last night, they undoubtedly were in.
One quick thought before we let you go on the game tonight with your daughter's Hastings team against Osseo.
Well, we're hoping that the fans get to see the real Hastings team. They haven't yet in the first 2 games. We've been fortunate. Erin and Katie Hertel haven't shot very well from the field so far, and they've done that all year long, but we've had other people step up, and the same thing hopefully will happen tonight.
All right, Tom, thanks for joining us. Have fun tonight.
Thanks a lot, Jeff.
All right, that's Tom Diddy, a father's pride and a daughter's dream. His daughter, Erin Diddy, sunk 2 big free throws last night, and you heard her talking about how practicing with her father on Sundays in the gym came in handy. Now, joining us to talk about the Hastings-Osseo game, we're going to hear from the Brain Trust. We're going to talk with Nikki Scholl, the head coach of Hastings, and Dave Thorpe, the head coach of Osseo. And let's see, as the coaches come in here, I think Nikki, we'll start with you. We just heard Tom Diddy, who obviously has a vested interest in this. His daughter, Erin, of course, one of your starters, saying hasn't seen the real Hastings team yet. What are your thoughts as you have your team in the championship game?
This is just a great experience for the kids. They've worked really hard, and I think they really deserve to be here.
How much fun has this been, and how do you take that fun and sort of focus on, obviously, your task at hand?
We really have nothing to lose coming into this game. Most people thought that we'd never get this far anyway, so our kids are really enjoying this, and our crowd support and fans and the whole town is behind us, and it's been a lot of fun.
All right, I guess we'll talk a little X's and O's. Couple of keys you think people should look for tonight from your team against Osseo.
For us to be effective tonight, we're going to have to hit some outside shots. With Osseo's zone defense, they play a tough zone defense. Ball movement and rebounding is going to be crucial with that.
They are quite a team. I mean, obviously they've been up at the top all season. I imagine you have a great deal of respect for the Orioles.
Oh yeah, he's been in this situation before. I'm a newcomer to this, but we hope to give him a good game.
But you're having fun. I mean, you're enjoying this experience, aren't you? What's this like for you?
It was overwhelming at first, but now it's just back to coaching again, what I've been doing all year long.
Nikki, thanks for joining us. Good luck. We'll let you get ready.
Thank you.
That's Nikki Scholl, the head coach of Hastings. And now Let's talk to Dave Thorpe, the head coach of Osseo. And like Nikki was saying, Dave, you've been here before. You've been a part of this. Your thoughts on this game as we get ready for Championship Saturday?
Well, Hastings is a senior team. They've won, I think, 21 ball games in a row. They're a good basketball team, and you know, our kids have to be ready to play.
I must ask you before we go any further about the game last night. This place was jammed. It was rocking. Huge win, #1 against #2 as you beat Rochester Mayo.
Yeah, it was a good ball game. I think it was good for girls basketball. Rochester Mayo has an outstanding team, and just a good ball game. It was up and down. We like up tempo. They like up tempo. So I think it was really exciting for the fans.
You speak about tempo. That leads me to the next question. Let's talk about pace and the tempo of this game. What should people look for, and what do you think are some keys?
We haven't slowed the ball down. We're going to push the ball. You know, hopefully our kids are selective when, you know, and look for their breaks when they get them. But we're going to push the ball and try to pound it inside if we can. We got big kids, and you know, hopefully we'll be okay.
Do you guard against any kind of a letdown after a game that was so publicized and heralded as Hastings comes in here tonight?
Well, you give a lot of coach talk. You know, you say, hey, come on, you know, you got one more game to go. You can't let down. You have nothing to lose. But they did expend a lot of energy last night. But, you know, they rested today, and I think they're focused. And I think when you get within one game, they should be able to go on adrenaline.
Before we let you go, I see you got your basketball tie on. All basketballs on the silk neckwear there.
That's right. That's right.
Good luck tonight, Dave. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
That is Dave Thorpe, the head coach at Osseo. Thanks for Dave and Nikki Scholl for joining us. Back with more, including thoughts from our game announcers and a look back at the Class A championship as the pregame show rolls on from Williams. Yes, Janet, we'll start with you first in this one. Osseo, #1, right at the top of the polls most of the year, taking on Hastings. What do you think we should look for in this one?
Well, I talked to a couple of the Osseo coaches, and they said that they have to take a lesson from what happened this afternoon. Tracy Milroy, again, underrated. Everybody predicted Blake, but Blake learned a lesson, and Osseo doesn't want to learn that lesson tonight. They're really prepared for a Hastings team that has found a way to win. Sometimes it hasn't always been pretty, but like Ray Finley from Blake says, they don't award style points at the state tournament. I think Osseo, if they play well, should win. Obviously, they have a lot of talent. And then Dick's going to talk a little bit more about the keys for Hastings.
Hey, Dick, what do you think about some of the keys for the Raiders?
Well, in crunching the numbers a little bit, Osseo, as big as they are, you think, well, they have to be a great rebounding team, and certainly they are. But in the tournament, in the 2 games in the tournament, they're dead even in rebounds. And actually, it's Hastings that's actually done a better job rebounding in the 2 games so far than Osseo. I think the key player for Hastings is Erin. She has not shot the ball well in the 2 games so far, and if Hastings is going to win, I really think she's going to have to certainly play the best game of the tournament that she's played so far.
Well, that is we look forward to your call of the game. Dick Bramer, Janet Carpenter will be joining us for the opening tip in just a few minutes. When we come back, as the pregame show rolls on, we'll take a look at the boys tournament and how things are going as they get down to the Sweet 16. The pregame show continues from the barn.
Now your host, Minnesota 9 News Sports Director, Jeff Grayson.
And welcome back. Championship Saturday night. We're getting ready for our primetime matchup. It'll be Osseo and Hastings for the AA championship. A story of a team who's just thrilled to be here against the story of a team, well, who's really supposed to be here. Osseo's been at the top of the polls for most of the year, battling with Rochester Mayo, and they knocked off their nemesis last night. And for more on this matchup as we get set for the AA championship, let's go to our game announcers, Dick Bramer and Janet Carpenter. Dick?
All right, thank you very much, Jeff. Osseo surviving a great ball game yesterday against Rochester Mayo. Now they've advanced to the state championship game, trying for the school's 2nd state championship, taking on a Hastings team that, forget about the first time tournament jitters. They played very well since they've gotten to this tournament.
They really have. They've become a team that a lot of people, like Red Lake Falls in the Class A, have really come to light because they hustle. They've had a lot of different players stepping up and getting the job done. We talked a little bit in the open about how Erin has struggled, but there's always been someone who's gotten the job done for Hastings. They've got the youngest coach in the tournament, and they're ready to take on Osseo.
Mentioned that Osseo survived the Rochester Mayo scare and all the pressure that the Spartans put on, particularly the guards. Erica Haugen probably won't have an easy time of it, but at least she'll have a different type of a challenge. She won't face the full court pressure as much.
Well, I think everywhere she looked, she saw a Miller, and she probably thought there were about 4 of them out there last night. There you can see the nice pass into Erin Skelly, who had a huge night. 20 points, on the night. I think that's her career high, and at 6'4", she'll be a force to contend with. But Haugen had a great game.
Such a good ball handler, and she can score two double figures in each of the two tournament games so far. Osseo is favored against a Hastings team that is quite talented. They've got some big people who can score inside and score outside as well.
Well, as everybody knows, Osseo is a very big team. This young lady right here, Leslie Miller, who has beautiful shooting touch, is not only going to have to shoot well, but also rebound well, because she's going to be facing the biggest front line in the tournament. And Osseo goes so deep in keeping to bring those big people off the bench. Nikki Hertel, also the point guard for Hastings, has had a nice tournament. There you can see her setting up Erin Diddy, who came through with some big plays at the right times, and that was a beautiful three-pointer.
Nikki Scholl would love to see the replay of that and plays like it several times. She'd like to see that three-point shot go in about 4 or 5 times. Erin Diddy has not shot the ball particularly well in the first 2 games. She's a very talented player, and they need her to shoot the ball well tonight to increase their chances of upsetting Osseo. Another thing that Hastings can take advantage of, and Rochester Mayo did not last night. It's Osseo's game to play very physically, and consequently they commit a lot of fouls. They give up a lot of free throws. Every free throw opportunity is going to be critical for Hastings.
That's really true, and I think also we have to kind of watch and see how this game is called. Everybody always wants to know how much are the officials going to let them play. And if they let them play tonight, that's going to work to Osseo's advantage, because they are so deep and they are so strong, and they really take it to you, and it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
Early in the week, when we had a chance to talk to the coaches, I asked Dave Thorpe whether he thought tournament experience meant anything, and he didn't think it meant so much to the players, but he thought for the coaches. Well, maybe he had this matchup in mind. He's been in this game before, and Nikki Scholl, in just her second year at Hastings, probably going through some thoughts for the first time getting to a state championship game in just her second year.
That's right. And we should congratulate Dave Thorpe, because today is his wedding anniversary. He and his wife are celebrating their 28th wedding anniversary, March 16th. They always know that every year they're going to be celebrating it right here at the state tournament, and I'm sure that Dave would like nothing more than to celebrate it in a winning way.
It says something about the program he's got established at Osseo, and it's almost a guarantee, it seems, as if they're going to be in the state tournament. This is the 4th straight year that the Osseo Orioles have gotten to the state tournament. They're trying to win their 2nd school championship here tonight. Let's go over to Jeff Grayson.
Thanks, Dick. I am with Osseo Athletic Director.
It's the final game of the 1996 Girls State Basketball Tournament. Osseo played in the first game Wednesday morning, and here they are in the last game for the AA championship against Hastings. Osseo ranked #1 in the state in the final poll. They defeated Rochester Mayo in yesterday's great game here at Williams Arena, and we hope for another good game here tonight. Let's get the introductions from David Giles.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to Williams Arena and to the 21st annual Minnesota State High School Girls Basketball Tournament. This game is for the Class AA State Championship, and it features the Section 5 AA champion, the Orioles from Osseo High School, and the Section 3 AA champion, the Raiders from Hastings High School. We will begin the introductions, starting lineups. They will be introduced alternately, starting with Osseo. At forward, a 5'10" senior, number 25, Kelly Rambo. At forward for Hastings, a 6' junior, number 22, Erin Diddy. At forward for the Orioles, a 6'1" senior, number 32, Taya Brodeen. At forward for the Raiders, a 5'11" sophomore, number 40, Katie Larson. At center for Osseo, a 6'3" junior, number 55, Lisa Bicey. At center for Hastings, a 6'1" senior, number 50, Leslie Miller. At guard for the Orioles, a 5'10" junior, number 12, Erica Haugen. At guard for the Raiders, a 5'9" senior, number 12, Rachel Ruder. At guard for Osseo, a 5'7" senior, number 30, Jessica Green. At guard for Hastings, a 5'5" junior, number 32, Katie Hertel. Introducing the head coaches. The head coach of the Osseo Orioles is Dave Thorpe. The head coach of the Hastings Raiders is Nikki Shaw. The officials for the Class AA championship game are Chris Sheldon and Pat Pollard.
Now, two key players, Erica Haugen, who did such a wonderful job against Rochester Mayo last night, and Erin Diddy, who saved the best for last night, got a couple of field goals and hit some big free throws for Hastings in their semifinal win.
It really is going to be a great matchup. Erin Diddy, of course, hoping she can find her shot a little bit tonight. She's been doing everything else so well and providing a lot of leadership for her teammates. She's an all-state volleyball player as well. Erica Haugen, what can you say? She also does everything for Osseo. Both players really key everything for their teammates.
Osseo starting Lisa Bizey in place of Erin Skelly in the middle, but the top 8 players will all play an awful lot for Dave Thorpe. First possession of the game, Rutter with a miss. Follow-up shot by Larson, no good. And the rebound tip free to Jessica Green. Haugen across the lane, a miss for Brodeen. But Haugen follows up with an offensive rebound and another miss. Rebounded by Leslie Miller. Another good crowd here at Williams Arena. Miller double teamed. Erin Diddy, 8 field goals, 30 attempts in the tournament so far. Cross court just beyond the reach of Rambo. Diddy with the first miss. Rebound tied up on the floor. It'll go to Osseo.
Number 40 from Hastings, Katie Larson, 5'11" sophomore, also is a key player to watch, I think, just on the rebounding end of things.
Rambo looks inside. Taya Brodeen posting up and the ball out of bounds going to Osseo. There's Nikki Scholl inbounded. Jessica Green's 3 spins out. Brodeen's follow-up is good. Brodeen gets the game's first points. You mentioned rebounding, and it's interesting that Osseo, with all the size that they have, they are even in the rebounding department in this tournament. But Hastings has gotten to this game because of outstanding rebounding. They have 76, and their opponents have just 50 rebounds in the tournament so far.
The positioning tonight, especially against this taller team, is going to be critical. I'm sure Nikki Scholl has talked to her team about that very point, Dick.
Katie Larson controlling the inbounds pass from Rutter. Foul away from the ball, and a hold will be called on Kelly Rambo. First foul on Rambo and the Orioles. I beg your pardon, the second Osseo foul. Brodeen with the rebound. Now Jessica Green. Tied up along the baseline. Jump ball this time going to Hastings. The other Osseo foul was on Erica Haugen. Erin Skelly comes in for Lisa Bizey. .550 to play in the first quarter.
Makes quite a statement when you can bring in a 6'4" girl who scored 20 points the night before off the bench.
Good feed inside. Hertel to Miller, but the missed shot. Another miss, rebounded by Skelly.
Katie Larson doing a nice job hitting the boards, but just not able to convert.
Green looking inside. Bodine, bounce pass right at the feet of Skelly. Another tied up ball, this time going to Osseo. 5:09 left in the first quarter. The only points in the game going to the Orioles.
KMSB Television has purchased the broadcast rights to 1996 Minnesota State High School basketball tournament. No broadcast, rebroadcast, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and account of this copyrighted telecast is permitted without the written authority of KMSB Television and the Minnesota State High School League.
You've never read that better.
Thank you.
Did such a good job. We'll let you read it all week next week for the boys tournament.
I've already had a lot of practice.
Memorized it after all these years. Haugen with the drive. Bizey underneath, or Brodeen, excuse me, with the miss. Follow-up shot by Green, partially blocked, rebounded by Reuter. Diddy picks up the loose ball along the baseline. Osseo missing some close-in tries here in this first quarter. Tipped out of bounds. Hastings will keep it. You know, they're in a long drought. They won last night over Shakopee, despite the fact they didn't have a field goal in the final 9 minutes and 22 seconds of the game. Well, tack on the first 3.5 minutes here, and they've gone nearly 13 minutes in the state tournament without a field goal.
And they're in the championship.
And only down by 2.
That's right.
4:15 left. A miss by Miller, rebounded by Brodeen.
That's a good shot for Leslie Miller. She's got great touch within 15 feet.
Rambo open. Brodeen with the rebound. Put back no good as she hits the deck. Hertel with the rebound. A shot on the run, no good. Diddy's follow-up is no good, but a foul called on Erin Skelly, the third Osseo foul.
Well, it was great positioning by Erin Diddy to get back and hustle and get to the weak side over there, because the shot by Hertel, that running jump shot, is a pretty low percentage shot for most people anyway. Great position by Diddy, and there's Skelly with the foul.
Hastings has shot free throws well in this tournament, 28 for 42. I'd like to welcome those of you watching the 96 girls basketball tournament on KTTC in Rochester, Minnesota. And a violation and Diddy will get just the one free throw. Beg your pardon, I didn't see what happened.
I'm not sure if she took too long, or I'm not sure I saw it right either, but I believe it was Diddy herself that.
A foul away from the ball on Erin Skelly, and she's picked up back-to-back fouls.
The other thing, I suppose, if she would have crossed the line somehow or stepped on the line.
And back in the game for Osseo, Lisa Bizey. .340 to play. It's 2-1.
People still talking about the last night game between Osseo and Rochester Mayo, and Dave Thorpe said it was a lot of fun because both teams were running and scored a lot of points. This game has gotten off to a slower pace.
Big rebound by Diddy, and the follow-up shot that wouldn't drop. Haugen on the run, won't go. Out of bounds, and it'll go to Hastings. Well, perhaps Dave Thorpe's worst fears have been realized here. His Osseo team certainly not sharp in the opening period. .312 left, and it's 2-1. Bessie Talafus will come into the game for Hastings, replacing Rachel Reuter. Katie Hertel trying to break a long drought for Hastings. Diddy hits the front of the rim. Whistle and a foul called on Leslie Miller. That's the first Hastings foul. There have been 4 Osseo fouls. Hastings has gone 14.5 minutes in the state tournament without a field goal. That's pretty close to a whole half of basketball. Arbogast with an air ball. Thomas puts up a shot, and she's fouled, and she'll go to the free throw line for 2. Now Dave Thorpe trying to move players in and out, trying to find a combination that will click. And the same can be said for Nikki Scholl.
Both teams average in the neighborhood of 65 points a game.
Katie Larson back in for Hastings, replacing Leslie Miller. We'll take another timeout on the Jeep Eagles scoreboard. 2:44 left. It's Osseo leading by 3. Fans from both schools have been patiently waiting for something to get excited about. We haven't had it yet.
No. 2 minutes and 44 seconds to play in the first quarter, and it has been pretty uneventful so far.
Talafus over to Diddy. Thomas tips the pass, and it results in a turnover. Haugen carried the ball. Double dribble is what they call, and it's a turnover nonetheless for Osseo. And back in for Hastings is Rachel Reuter, replacing Erin Diddy. We may see players who don't ordinarily play. I think both coaches are a little frustrated right now because of how this first period has been played. Talafus, a high post feed to Larson.
Both teams are in a 2-3 zone that's kind of clogging up the middle, making it tough to get inside, and neither team, another turnover there on the double dribble by Larson, but neither team shooting well at all from outside, obviously, if it's only 4-1.
Hastings has gone more than 15 minutes in the state tournament without a field goal. Haugen hits the front of the rim, rebounded by Larson. Reuter back outside now to Hertel. Weber outside. Reuter hits.
She didn't want you to say that anymore.
Well, I said that with some surprise in my voice. Thomas has her shot blocked. Tied up on the floor. A traveling call is made against Osceo's Lisa Bizey. Hastings got the field goal from Rachel Reuter. They ended up going 15 minutes and 47 seconds between field goals.
That is frightening. Frightening for a coach or a team to even think of it, that can happen.
Green with a steal. Haugen to Brodeen off the glass, and it goes in. Nice break for Osseo.
I thought Haugen might have faked Brodeen out that time with that little shot fake, but Brodeen handled it and put it in.
Reuter for 3. Rebounded by Talafus. 10-footer on the lane, good.
35 seconds left in the first quarter.
That's Bessie Talifas' first field goal of the tournament, and it came at a good time.
Thea Brodin again. She's got all 3 Osseo field goals in the quarter. Diddy posting up.